How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Q&A. Today we're joined with Mod Rye.
Hello.
Mod Wolf.
Hello.
Myself, Mod Archie. Mod West. And Mod Ed. We also have Mod Maz on the chat gathering questions. Please at RuneScape with any questions you have. We will prioritize Dragon Slayer 2 related questions, as tomorrow we launch Dragon Slayer 2. It's quite hype. We were fortunate enough to see an internal live stream. Looked really exciting. How did you guys feel about that?
I'm very angry about it because I just killed Vorkath in front of everybody in the company, and I was scared I was going to die, but I didn't die. Instead, I got the Dragonborn necklace, which is of course a reward from the quest. Got that. I'm not going to say what the chance is, but know that it's rare.
It's rare.
And I got that legitimately, so I'm a little bit upset, a bit salty.
That's your RNG gone forever.
But generally pretty calm. This is probably for a big release that obviously 3 usually a year. But for a big release, we were really on track with this one.
Well, we have like 4 of the main people working on it sat here, rather than us being sat upstairs going, "Oh my god!" So it's a good sign. It's a good sign.
So working on such a massive update, obviously over the holidays as well, leaning into your holiday time. How were you with like stress level and getting everything planned and all that? Pretty smooth.
It was actually not too bad.
Yeah,
And I don't want to say that because that makes it sound bad.
Well, I think like we've been doing these big updates.
Yeah.
That was fine.
We've been doing these big updates for a while now. I think we get better each time.
Yeah.
We learn from like previous ones, and we learn how much time things take, and so I mean it's not stress free, but it gets less stressful each time. I think.
How was it for graphics?
Yeah, it was right.
Good answer.
Good answer.
I mean, we were basically done before,
Well, yeah, we'd like
before the
to.
new year.
All right,
Like
no show off.
We'd like to have a few weeks of just to give us some like polish time, stuff like that. So yeah, mostly what we've been working on recently is just sort of little tiny things.
The chat for the myth skill people?
Yes, just literally what I've been doing just now.
Because there was a sneak peek of the week halfway through this stream.
There is.
And I'm going to be showing the myth skills, and I just wanted to make sure that the thing that we were writing
Did you
before
hit
coming down
reboot?
here, I need to reboot that world. So yes, I'm just checking.
Hopefully, I didn't break anything.
Stay tuned for the sneak peek of the week, by the way. Anyway, so we're going to move into a couple of quick words, then we get into the questions. First and foremost, we have an exciting announcement. We are hiring for a new content dev. We're going to get the link in the chat for you guys. We'll give this a mention at the end of the stream as well, but if you'd like the opportunity to work on the old school team, I have a few recommendations here. You must be eligible for work in the UK. You must know about old school RuneScape. Job involves coding, designing, and being creative, but we don't necessarily look for experienced coders. Basic knowledge is okay. I think, yeah, old school knowledge is one of the biggest things on that list, really.
Yeah.
And obvious passion for the game, but if any of you guys are interested in potentially working with us here on the team, we'll get that link in the chat. And then last announcement here is the Christmas event leaves us tomorrow. So this is your last chance. If you haven't completed the Christmas event, get in game now. How long would you say it takes the average player?
Took me
20 minutes.
Yeah, it's not
20,
too long.
25
15,
minutes?
20.
Challenge accepted. You guys can do it.
Not as long as Dragon
And-
Slayer 2.
no
19.
nowhere near as long as Dragon Slayer 2.
So get that event done before tomorrow, otherwise you have to wait a year to get the rewards, right? All right, getting into the questions then. First one's from Julia, who says, will the DFS be useful for this quest?
Yes, very.
Considering there's dragons, it's possible that you might need some anti-fire protection.
It's worth noting.
Spoiler alert, there's dragons.
Yes, it's dragons. It's worth noting that I was explaining this internally just earlier, that the generic system of anti-fire protection of 2 of these 3 options, with some dragons, such as one that you may have already seen, might not be as effective against something that strong. So, yeah.
You just spoiled the whole quest.
I ruined the whole quest by telling them about Vorkath.
So panic by DFS. Yeah, there you go. Next question's from Bingo, who says, the Salve Amulet will not work on Vorkath because of balancing purposes, but will this also be explained in the lore? I mean, it's an undead reanimated dragon, and the Salve Crystal is the bane of undead. I hope there is some dialogue explaining a reason.
So it's not flat out explained. It'd be a bit odd, I think, to just go kill this dragon and there's this random NPC there. He's like, hello, I'm just going to explain to you why your salve didn't work just then. But there is some little hints hidden in the quest as to why it doesn't work. Like, We don't ever outright say why, but there's hints as to the way Vorkath was reanimated as to why it may not work.
Yeah.
Speaking of killing Vorkath and completing the quest in general, are there any recommended stats or gear you can say?
For the entire quest?
Yeah, obviously not just like the
so
skill
obviously we have the
requirements,
requirements, but on top of those requirements, if anyone's already got the requirements, I'd recommend going a bit higher on the agility and thieving and combat stats, just in general. They'll all come in useful.
Combat we settled at about, we would say 80-ish all would be probably recommended.
What's 80 all combat? What's that bring you up to? Like 112 or something? No, less than that.
Lower than that, probably.
Yeah, like 106 or something.
certainly the higher
Obviously,
range
like with anything,
would be nice.
the higher the better. It'll be interesting to see people try at lower
105?
levels. Like the minimum combat level is 85 because of Dream Mentor. Be interesting to see if anyone can get it at that level.
Okay.
But the higher the better.
Why are you laughing at 112? I don't know. I don't have a base 80 stats. Do you? Noob? All right. Tildy says, Dragon Slayer related question. Can there be a live stream quest walkthrough with JMod commentary in later months? During the playthrough, you guys talk about the challenges of making this quest, what sparked certain ideas, what ideas were scrapped / added / replaced, etc.
It sounds like it'd be
That'd
a
be really fun.
nice idea for a community live stream. We haven't done one in a while. We've talked about bringing them back again. Maybe that's something we could do with one of them. Obviously, we'd wait a few weeks or maybe a month or two to make sure that we didn't spoil anything by doing it. But if that's something people want, yeah, absolutely.
We were talking about potentially doing a stream on release tomorrow, actually, not spoiling anything, but kind of following around people as they're completing the quest and maybe watching them die and stuff like that. But we weren't really sure how we would go about doing a stream like that. But I don't know. That sounds like a much better idea, to be honest.
Is there a question about death in there, par chance?
There is now.
Excellent.
A
Do you wanna
question
ask-
about
Do
death.
you want to make it up, or do you want me to
Yeah,
say?
it's from Franker Z.
Yes, and what did
There you
Franker Z
He
ask?
said, I have a question about death.
Excellent, yes. Obviously, death in our game has recently been a little bit different. It has been for a while, in fact. And instances in particular have always had this problematic area that if you die in an instance, you lose everything. You can't even run back and gather your things. So, similar to the Fossil Island Mine, or Zora, or Grotesque Guardians, this gravestone-like system in instances where you'd lose all your items exists during this quest. If you die, your items will be saved, but there is a fee to unlock and get those items back. So if you do die, remember to run back to the area and bring some coinage for that.
What if they don't?
Then you'll have to run back to your bank and waste
Ah.
10 minutes and then go back again.
Okay.
Or if you die during the
obviously,
period running back,
like
you
with
lose
all,
everything.
like with all
Ooh.
gravestones, if you die again, the gravestone is wiped. It's kind of upsetting to see how many people still don't actually realise that until too late. So if you've died and your items are at a gravestone, they are not safe. You have to go get them back, because if you die again, they're gone.
It works just like the other graves.
And also, just because there are gravestones to keep your items safe, that does not mean these are safe deaths. If you die on a hardcore, you are dead, and so many people are going to tomorrow. I can tell you right now,
yeah.
don't be that person who does it.
I would
Play it on your main first.
Yes.
If you don't have a main, just wait till someone else does it.
There you go. Oh, of course, the gravestones also, like the other gravestones, don't allow you to have additional storage. They prioritise. So if you have stuff in your Zora bank, if you're an Ultimate Iron Man, I said bank, and then you die, this stuff gets wiped, and then this new grave or bank will have your new stuff in there.
Right.
So don't be silly.
Hands up in the chat if you're a hardcore Iron Man completing the quest tomorrow. By the
No.
way. You brave individuals.
No way.
All right.
Don't do it.
Question for the artists. What was the most difficult piece of content to model for Dragon Slayer 2? Anything that stood out?
Anything that you can say?
Yeah, anything that isn't a
Stands
spoiler.
out.
That's what I'm trying to think about.
Let's skip this
The
question.
scenery. All of the scenery. Wow.
It was,
dragons.
it was all very, dragons, the scenery, everything.
Okay.
I can't even say like little things because it ruins really later on in the quest.
Yeah. We'll probably talk about that more after the quest release, in that potentially live stream.
Okay.
We'll run through
So
it.
next week's Q&A will be a good one then.
Yeah.
Ras says, what happened to the reward for completing 100 master clues? The answer to that is it's still on the table, very much so. We're definitely going to do that. We've just been absolutely swamped and obviously coming off of the holidays. So don't worry, that's going to happen. King says, with the release of adding rune dragons, can we condense metal dragon tasks into something like? So, obviously, condensing metal dragons into one single task has been asked before in this Q&A 100 million times. We've come to the conclusion we don't want to do that. We don't want to make Slayer easier. But I guess the question is, with the addition of 2 new metal dragons, does that somehow change?
I mean, well, we can do it, but I don't think our stance has changed. Like, Slayer has gotten a fair bit easier over the past couple of years. If the odd task comes in every now and then that you don't want to do, that brings it back down a bit, I don't see that as a bad thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Concur. Yeah.
Let's grab one from the chat then.
Wait.
Loey says, do you need pure essence or essence blocks for the new Wrath rune crafting?
Nope.
Just say
generic
traditional
pure
rune
essence.
crafting altar, so yeah, old pure essence, you need your talisman and everything to get in there. Just like the good old days.
Hayes says, what about the Rift Guardian, the runecraft pet, a new recolor, or a new color, because of the new Wrath runes?
Yes, it
Oh.
has a new colour.
It's like a 2-tone colour, because
Looks pretty. I think it's probably one of the best ones.
it is.
Ooh.
I would say.
Ooh,
I don't
careful.
know the config for giving myself that. However, I would have showed it in the sneak peek, but oops,
Maybe if you're lucky enough, you'll just get one.
maybe.
Cosmic says, will Vorkath count towards Blue Dragon tasks?
Yes.
Yes, both during the quest and after.
Yep.
It's a repeatable task. You won't get. I think you won't get the Slayer XP drop during the quest.
You will do.
Oh,
yeah.
you will, but less, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Andy says, does runecrafting cape let you into the Wrath rune altar?
I believe it does. Yes.
Yes.
I didn't actually do that job, but I'm pretty sure it does.
So does the max cape as well. Yes, we tested those.
Amenity says, will Dragon Hunter crossbow be best against Vorkath, or will Mage?
No spoilers.
I don't think that's
Obviously,
actually-
he's a dragon, so the Dragon Hunter crossbow's effect will work.
Yeah.
Whether it's better or worse than anything, who knows?
We can probably say that chromatic dragons tend to have a pattern with magic, and maybe realizing that might help you kill it a little bit quicker.
Or just tell them how to kill it.
I'm not saying anything.
Aze says, is Vorkath considered to be harder than Gluff?
I guess that's. I guess that depends, really. Some people might find it easier, some harder. I don't know. I think we aim to make him harder, definitely. But
Okay.
whether he is, I guess, depends on the person. I mean, Mod Wolf just killed him on an internal live stream. Did you find him harder? You did it. Yeah, you did it.
And how would you evaluate Mod Wolf's PVM skill?
It was actually a pretty poor attempt, I'm
It
not gonna lie,
was,
but I did it. That's all that matters.
I've seen
I did
better.
it.
However, I have also seen worse. Most of the worst was also from Mod Wolf when he would keep running in and getting one hit.
You changed the attacks and I forgot. And so, like, when we had the influencers come in, we changed attacks based on their feedback. And I came in one day and I was like, I should probably finish testing that change. So I jumped in and he did a thing and another thing that I didn't know. And I looked away for half a second and looked back and I was just dead. And I went, oh, I forgot we did that. And that's how that happened.
Oh, we have the name of the pet. We can show off the pet.
Oh, thank you.
Brand new
That
rune
one's-
crafting pet. Nice. One more or so from the chat, I think. Six says, will the T-bow be effective in Dragon Slayer 2 and the new solo boss?
Not going to tell you.
Does that
Okay.
person have a T-bow?
Everyone's at the Grand Exchange right now. Well, people just are
Do I buy
selling,
this? Do I buy
selling.
this? What do I buy?
It's that sweaty meme where you're like pushing the red button. All right. Back into these then. Where have we gone to? DMM says, Dragon Slayer 2 related question. By the way, we have non-Dragon Slayer questions coming soon. Don't worry. Can we please get a set effect on full dragon similar to Barrows? I'd much rather the full dragon set have a use rather than purely being a fashion item. Maybe 10% accuracy / strength bonus against dragons.
We could. It's something we have discussed in the past. I mean, we decided not to do it with this quest, but we can certainly look at it in the future.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind dragging up a set bonus.
Would that just be helmet, body, and legs then? No shield.
Shield as well.
Then how would you fight dragons then?
It's a good question.
Well, if only it was a new portion that could help defend you from all
I think
dragon
if you're,
fire.
if you're wielding full dragon, you're not like.
I guess you could have two set effects, one for chain
body
and
and
med
chain,
helm, and yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Dragon Fire Shield has dragon in it.
We did actually
Well,
poll the square shield
anti-dragon
to
shield,
provide
yeah, it does.
protection at one point, didn't we?
Yeah,
It failed.
It did,
Square.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about dragon not being cosmetic. I mean, it's not necessarily cosmetic, but it's not obviously best in slot. All right. Ima says, are the green dragons in the new guild going to be hard to come by, or at least put together with iron and steel dragons that aggro you to avoid people with max gear, one-hitting green drags and then farming them?
So there's no iron or steel. The dragons that are in there are mentioned as in the blog
I
as
can't
being
remember how many there
green, blue,
Eager
red,
in the
and black. But the greens are pretty damn close to the black ones, and there's only a couple of them. So
In fact, I'll show you in a bit.
yeah, we'll actually show you
Yes.
later.
I was like, I can't remember what they look like, and Rye was like, well, you're showing it in a bit.
The concern here is obviously, I think he wants the wilderness to still be the best way to kill them, to farm green drags.
Yeah, because there's only a couple of them. If they're going to be, there's going to be a lot of people trying to get to them, I think. So the wilderness is probably still going to be a very good place to do it.
Cool.
You're probably going to be wasting on respawns anyway when you're down there.
Yeah.
You might as well just fight blues or something.
Yeah, noob. Aragon
The
says,
Lockath.
how do I
Exactly.
train a dragon?
You kill Vorkath and get the new Vorki pet drop, and then you'll have your very own pet dragon.
That's a
Ooh.
great response. I wouldn't have thought about
Do we
that.
get to show that on stream? Have we already shown that?
I think we've already shown it, haven't we?
I think Mod Ghost has
Ghost.
put out a tweet of it, so if you want to have a look at it, head over to Mod Ghost's Twitter.
Jagex_Ghost, I believe.
What do you think Mod Ghost would say if he was on the couch if I asked him what the most difficult thing to model is?
Lockath.
Think he might say that?
Probably Volcath, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we going to? Whiskey says, when Grotesque Guardians were released, Kieran mentioned repulling tradable granite dust after the boss hype had settled down and gold per hour has started to average out. I think that was a question. Anyways, I asked Kieran. He said, I think the question was to poll it rather, sorry. Kieran says, could do, haven't had time to poll it yet. However, it didn't have overwhelming feedback. Overwhelmingly positive feedback, I should say. There we are. I think we're running very short on Dragon Slayer 2 questions. That's fine. We'll get back to the ones in the chat momentarily. The Gimo says, thoughts on changing the behavior of a players getting kicked out of a game when they disconnect in PVM situations, i.e. making it so that the player is instantly kicked out of the game when they lose connection, rather than waiting until they're out of combat.
How would you be able to tell that they didn't just pull their router?
Yeah, that's what my question would be.
Yeah, we've asked this one before. It was a very long time ago, so I thought, why not? Yeah, it's.
I mean, it would be good because if
Don't think it's
obviously,
possible for
obviously you
us,
don't
really.
want to die. That's not your fault, but it is quite hard to stop people from cheating.
And clearly, it wouldn't work in wilderness and PvP situations. Imagine you're fighting a guy, you're going to lose. No thanks.
If you, well, yeah.
They're spamming mobile. We don't, unfortunately, have any updates for you today about mobile. It's still being worked on. It hasn't gone anywhere. That's all I can say.
Soon,
No,
TM.
well, it's not. It hasn't gone anywhere.
It hasn't disappeared.
Yes, okay.
I should say.
Yeah, that makes it sound like
It
it
is
hasn't been
going
progressing.
great places,
Yeah.
incredible places. You will someday reach. Right. Quest says, could teleport to house spell have a right-click option to tele inside or outside of the house? Possibly a reward from the Fally Diary, as Remington is the first portal you receive for construction.
Rather just do it without putting more things behind diaries.
Yeah, I feel as though that was an update. I don't think it's in.
So it's a
Arcane.
toggle in the
we did-
settings.
Oh yeah, okay. So you can't. I thought it was in the settings,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if we had it.
It is in the settings, but you
Okay.
can't right-click the.
Oh,
the
yeah,
spell.
that's
So
what
it's
yeah,
just a
it is, yeah.
toggle.
Oh, then yeah, I just pull that. I'd pull it.
Okay.
That's fine.
King says, enchanted Slayer staff buff, question mark. It's still worse than Ivan's staff and Trident. I think the question here is, does it have to be better than those two? He has a couple ideas to buff it, but let's ask that question first. Should it be better than those two?
I think it should be better on like a Slayer. Well, not better than both of them, but better than the Ivan stuff on Slayer tasks because it sort of
Yeah.
makes sense as the Slayer stuff. But I mean,
Better than the Trident?
probably not. No,
Don't know.
that scales quite
Heavily.
heavily. Yeah.
Yeah.
So his ideas here were chance to not use runes when casting the magic dart, classic. Ability to store the magic dart spell cast runes in the staff, similar to Trident. That's not too much of a buff, that's just convenience.
Yeah.
Making it better using the ability as you don't lose the runes when you die. Okay, that helps. And increased damage when casting Magic Dart in the wilderness. I like that.
Yeah, I like these ideas.
Okay. There might be something from that then. It's a good idea. Chuju says, do Tome of Fire plus Smoke Battle Staff plus Slayer Helmet bonuses all stack together when using Fire Surge? Also, do Metal Dragons have a weakness to fire spells? And can you elaborate on some of the new bolt specs we will see on the release of Dragon Bolts? Often there is a lot of misinterpretation as the possibilities of the bolts.
Let's cut this down, okay? Okay, ask me the first question.
Tome of Fire, Smoke Battle Staff, Slayer Helmet, do they stack with surge spells?
Yes, but in the same way that they would stack with other fire spells already. It might not. I can't tell you off the top of my head which is additive and which is multiplicative, but let's wrap it up, guys.
Great word.
They work the same as other fire spells.
Okay. Also, do Metal Dragons have a weakness to fire spells?
Metallic dragons, comparatively to chromatic, naturally always have less magic defense. However, I still wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head if it's substantially better than other methods of killing dragons, like with stab or range.
They're
We
going
won't
to find
spoil it
out
anyway. They can work it out for
They can work it
themselves,
out
but
as well.
we
Yeah.
haven't done anything crazy. Where pattern already exists in game, we have mostly followed it.
Okay.
These are what I'm saying is all existing stuff that you could find out.
Can you elaborate on some of the new bolt specs we will get to see with the release of Dragon Bolts?
The bolt specs are all the same as they previously were, except obviously the damage is increased because you have a dragon bolt as its base range strength as opposed to whatever the tier previously used to be. There's some oddities that I personally would like to address in the future of the poll. Like I would like to make some of those special attacks a bit better. Some of them are written in ways that are not accurate. So the Opal Bolt, the Opal Bolt, for example, states that it buffs the damage by 25 to 30%, but the reason that that's the case is that it buffs damage per every 15 levels of range. And so for the max hit of that bronze bolt, it's 25 to 30%. With the dragon bolt, it's actually more about 15% increase. So it's worse than a diamond bolt because that also shreds armor as well, or negates armor on its roll. So in the future, we'd like to look into maybe polling some of these effects to be a bit better, is the TLDR.
Some question marks there. Don't worry, you'll understand once they're out.
Yeah, quick maths, essentially.
A couple more from the chat then, actually, as we prep for your sneak peek of the week. And let's go for 8 minutes. We'll go for the halfway mark. FL says, will Dragon Slayer 2 give any attack or defense experience for completing the quest?
There's no forced combat XP of any type upon finishing the quest.
Weren't feeling that mean. That would have been fun.
I think it's nice to have a bit of a choice, like Monkey Madness previously has. It's nice that you do it, and at the end there's somebody there to be like, hey, thanks for that help. Do you want us to train you a little bit in what I can do?
Well, the players have these like specific builds. It's good to not ruin them, so they don't quit.
JR says, is the repeatable boss Vorkath instanced?
Yes. And
I
it
hope
uses
so.
the Greystone system that was mentioned earlier.
Do you think going forward, all bosses similar to Vorkath will have to be instanced?
I mean, because he's a solo boss, yeah, it's like the only, well, it's not the only way to do it, but it's the nicest way to do it.
Yeah. Scissor says, Dragon Defender should defend against dragons. No. Next one, Gata says,
Should it?
You just stab your defender through the shield. And you just...
do the new Wrath runes have some sort of special effect? Otherwise, why would anyone use them when other spells are better?
So this comes back to the damage boosting gear we talked about earlier. Yeah, the max hits listed in the blog don't look like anything special, but once you start adding your other gear on top of that to increase that max hit, you can hit some pretty nice numbers.
Do we have any idea of like what the absolute max hit with the Fire Surge
I can't remember
spell
it off the top of my head, but
50, low 60-ish.
we've worked out, I can't remember what it is
60.
exactly.
You're going to be seeing like probably level.
It's something players can work out for themselves, because
Yeah.
as already
I'm waiting
mentioned, it
for
uses the
Torvesta's
same
first video.
calculations.
I'm waiting for some PvP videos personally because it's going to hit hard, like really hard.
Wow. All right. I'm really looking forward to the content to come tomorrow. You guys will want to be on Twitch tomorrow. We're probably launching around a similar time, I imagine, midday BST, sorry, GMT, whatever we are.
Hopefully.
Yeah, like,
Unless
there's not looking
something
like
goes
we
wrong.
have any issues, so unless anything pops up while we're sat here, we should be all right to update at the usual time.
Okay. We're going to here. Stone says, do we get to vote on the Dragon Slayer 2 login screen submissions? The answer to that one is unfortunately no. Sorry, you don't. But we've seen some incredible submissions so far. Have you guys seen them?
We'll be showing it in the sneak peek.
Yes,
The
we've
winner.
actually
Ooh,
already
the winner.
chosen the winner. I
Announcing
think we've
the
made
winner.
a pretty good choice. We'll see what people think.
I was also watching some of the video submissions that came through. Mara-Isa and I were going through those. Some really, really impressive submissions, some quite low effort meme submissions, unfortunately. But I think we have a winner to be announced in this stream.
However, John is shaking his head.
I can find it, I don't have it.
It was emailed to you, so
Yeah, but-
just
Oh,
very last minute
Okay.
though.
Well,
Didn't
you can
have
see
any
the
time.
picture. The name might not be given until after the stream.
We'll see what we can get to you by the end of the stream. You'll figure it out. We'll let you know
Or maybe just demand Isa come down.
if he wants to.
What day is it?
Load it
You
up
are
on the
watching.
iPad, maybe.
You are required.
For those wondering, we did a video competition to summarize Dragon Slayer, the original Dragon Slayer 1, that is, in the best summary possible. Some really incredible submissions, some very funny ones, some very informative ones, some of a mix of both, etc. Some animated ones. So we chose a winner, and I believe there's actually a pretty impressive prize for that.
Yeah, I think a PC.
I think there is
I think it's a PC and
I think
everything's
it's a gaming
software.
computer. Where do we get these? All right, a couple more questions, then we'll get into the sneak peek of the week. I missed what Matt said.
So, Mod Matt K just said, Aida's watching. I know because he's in my clan.
Okay.
He's just memeing. Ignore him.
Another question for the artist right here. How was working on this quest compared to the previous project you were working on?
It was different.
Fossil Island, was it?
Yeah, Fossil Island.
Well, if you're classing it as a big project, then yeah, Fossil Island.
Fossil Island was a very long. Cause we started that. Well, I started that back in like March, so that was 6 months around that.
Fossil Island's one of the longest projects we've
longest
had.
projects. And yeah, I don't know. Wait, what was the actual question again?
How does it compare?
How does it compare?
Yeah.
Well, it was a quest. It was a bit different to just like an area. So Fossil Island felt more like a sort of like an area to just go play around in. This is more just sort of like, what's a
You have a
quest, isn't
story
it?
to follow.
Yeah, you follow the story.
Yeah.
You go to different areas. There's things to do there.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, I liked it.
Okay. Okay. I'm reading the chat. I shouldn't do that. And then going in the future, can we talk about the next big project you get to work on?
Well, I assume the next big project is Raids 2, so Theatre of Blood. But
Ooh.
personally, after doing 2 massive projects, I want to sort of take a back seat.
You don't get breaks.
Well, I don't get breaks, but I let Mod Ghost
Yeah.
and Mod Ride
Yeah, there's
take the lead on that
there's
one.
no breaks, but after being the developer on
Yeah.
Dragon Slayer and being the lead on it as well, I'm going to do quite a bit of quality of life stuff for the next couple of months before taking on something big again,
we're all
just to mix things up a bit.
Toning
Yep.
down a little bit. I mean, I went back to back with 2 large updates, and as excited as I am for Raids 2, which will be absolutely fantastic, I don't think I'm up for doing a hat trick of big projects in a row. It's very time-consumingly stressful. When you're
It'd get a bit boring if
lead.
they have the same people working on each project. It's nice to mix stuff a bit.
Yeah.
Like with Raids 2, I think someone like Kieran should come in and take the reins on that one. He
Yeah.
has proven himself time and time again to be the champion when it comes to PVM.
Sure.
Of course, we all still help when it's
Yeah,
done.
the
Of course.
nice thing about these big projects is that pretty much everyone has a little involvement. Like, I think by now, pretty much everyone on the team has touched Dragon Slayer 2 in some way, even if just a little bit.
Can I ask you a question, Ed? Have you had a dream about Dragon Slayer yet?
Have I had a dream
Yeah,
about Dragon
because
Slayer?
I've had a Dragon Slayer 2 dream. It's got to that point. It's hit that point. I had them about Fossil Island as well.
I actually did, yeah. I had a dream, but we accidentally released it too early, and it was a disaster.
Oh no! like it happens. It really it wears thin on you.
Oh, he's here.
Do
Oh, he's here.
He's here.
I've arrived.
you have the video?
Yeah, John's got it now.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay. I saw the name of the winner. So do you want to actually head over there and set up?
Yeah, let's send you over for the sneak peek of the week, and we'll save the video, winner for maybe the end of the stream, maybe shortly after the sneak peek.
The login screen winner now though?
Yeah. So let's ask a question while you get set up.
Yeah.
and then you can show off the login screen winner and the sneak peek of the week. All right, next question then. Ops says, can the Ardy Knights be given a non-stackable item like the steel sword they hold, a gem, or some other random item? This wouldn't change the experience per hour much, but it would make them impossible to auto-click.
Ooh. Risky. Very risky.
Yeah, I think that is an issue that is probably one of the more reasonable ways of solving.
I'd say yeah, but they're probably hate me for that.
I'm going to come out here without reading the chat and say I like this idea. I don't pickpocket Ardy Knights, but they hate the idea. I hate this idea. It's a horrible idea.
I want to. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that'd probably be the best way. But still,
personally, I'd much prefer to see more people using things like Pyramid Plunder instead, rather than just clicking Ardy Knights all day long. But quite a few of them probably now hate me.
Obviously, auto-clicking is bannable. You're going to get your account banned if you do.
Yeah.
There's clearly a fear, at least in this question asker, that people are auto-clicking Ardy Knights. And if so, if they're not immediately getting banned that second, they should at least be forced to stop by gathering items unstackable in their inventory. Yeah, let's get a straw poll. This would be an interesting one. This is a very controversial question.
Yeah, it's very good. I understand why, but I do think, I don't know, people just want an easy route, don't they?
I'm of the opinion that I typically don't like to speak up unless I'm at least well aware of the topic. I have no experience pickpocketing Ardy Knights.
I mean, it is what it sounds like. It's literally just clicking on an Ardy Knight for hours on end. That is.
I feel like we need to speak to an Ardy Knight pickpocketing expert.
Someone who's gone all the way to 200 mil.
Do we have any Ardy Knight pickpocketing experts here?
I did plunder.
You did Pyramid Plunder?
I've always done plunder.
I do plunder.
Same.
If I click an Ardy Knight for more than 2 seconds, I
like the trying to get the scepter. It always feels good when you get one.
Realistically speaking, if we were to actually realistically consider this, which I think we are, I think it'd be a game integrity thing, meaning a balancing issue.
Yeah.
But it would be something that we'd have to speak to player support and the anti-bot specialists about. Not something that's going to be decided on out of whim Q&A question.
Yeah.
It is a great question, though.
I mean, majority still want yes. It's just not a very big majority.
Yeah. So we finished that question. We have a thumbs up from Modwolf. That means we're going to throw you over to the sneak peek of the week.
Hello everyone, welcome to the sneak peek of the week. Really excited this one. I get to show you inside the Myth Guild for the first time. Of course, the reward for Dragon Slayer 2 after all your efforts. I am at first going to show you guys the winner, and announce for that matter, the winner of the login screen competition. The winner is this beautiful masterpiece right here. This is created by Runezilla. And let me tell you, I'm going to hide myself. Let me tell you that it was a very, very, very close call. There was a lot of discussion between us all about which one we're going to choose. But this is one that we decided to settle with. We think it's very true to the art style. And surprisingly to all of us, when we chose this one as the winner, we then found out that this person was the winner of the previous login screen competition as well. Wow. Yeah, we didn't know until we chose.
Say the name again?
Runezilla.
Let's give a special well done.
Yeah, well done. Clearly he very, very much so understands our art taste for the login screen, but there was a lot of very close, I'm talking, it was like 5-4 in the vote of our team of who we wanted to win between second place, so it was very close. But I'm going to go ahead and log in and show you guys around the Myths Guild. So let's log on in. We have a new message of the week. Now, after you've completed your quest, you'll, of course, come back to Alec Kinsale. You'll find out why when you do that on the day, but you can finally pass through these magical barriers. Now, the Myths Guild has a pretty large assortment of things to do. Of course, the Wrath Altar being one of them. I'm going to make sure I don't dive. I set for JMod attackable to 1, and heading on down this mythic statue right here. And in this mythic statue is the cave that you are all very well aware of from the blog. This is the Fountain of Old. This can be used to charge all of your Dragonstone equipment. I believe everything but the glories can be charged, noted, I'm pretty sure. And over here you have the rocks that you were of course pulled for as well. So there's 4 Addy and 2 Runite. Now, this is how many dragons there are. I'm going to go ahead and walk around here. I'm not too sure myself. I can't remember off the top of my head. So you have the red dragons on entrance. You have to the east a couple of baby dragons, I believe. Yeah, a mixed variety of baby dragons over here. Blue-green, black and red. Further south in the cave, you have some, where are we? You've got some blue dragons and some blue dragon scales, of course. You have green dragons. Let's see how many there are since you asked that earlier. There is 2 by the looks of it. So that's how many there are there. This is another way in from the Ogre Enclave that you, of course, you would have seen at Corsair Curse a couple of weeks ago. And then down here to the south, near the 2 blacks, is a cave entrance. And if you enter this cave, you can go ahead and access this little island, which is to the south of the Myths Guild. Now, this is where the Wrath Altar is. So if I give myself a Wrath Talisman, of course, you can make a tiara here to be able to get in as well. Inside, requiring 95 pure essence. Maybe about the charging of noted or unnoted, maybe I was incorrect. I apologise. I will double check that. However it works in the other places is how it will work here, essentially.
It's correct, and it works on the others as well. So.
Cool. So ignore me there. Give blank rune high of 2,000. Let me go ahead. It is blank rune high, right? Give blank rune high. There we go. And let me just go ahead and craft these runes. And there we go. Got my new Wrath runes usable for search spells, just as you remember it. Now I am going to actually peek over the camera here to find out the config for the rune crafting pet, if Maz can scroll up through that chat, please, so that I can give myself this pet and show you the recolor for it, which is, you're going to...
Pet rune crafting _wrath.
Skill pet underscore rune crafting?
Oh, skill pet rune crafting.
Cool. Underscore wrath. So here's a little sneak peek of the pet. Sorry that you got a great shot of my torso there. If we drop this Rift Guardian, this is the new colour. As I said, it was 2-tone, so it's black and red. I think it looks pretty nice. I think it's probably my favourite of the set. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. What do you think?
I'm going to have to do rune crafting.
What do you think, chat?
It was a 360.
Pretty happy? Pretty happy? Oh, gosh. Okay, 360. There you go. And then, oh, there you go. And there you go. Good stuff. It's probably worth pointing out as well, actually, that Modash added a new little thing to the runecrafting pet. You can now actually lock your runecrafting pet so that it will keep the colour that you're currently on. So if you're runecrafting other things, it won't change if you want to keep that colour. So worth noting that. And let's go back to the Myths Guild. Here we are. And I'm going to go back in. And let's start exploring the area. So as Mod Ed mentioned, there is a way to gain combat experience after the quest that is optional, and you can do that by talking to Ellen, who's inside the Myths Guild. You'll notice there's a little bit of an Easter egg with her weapon that Mod West worked on previously. And if you talk to her, she'll help you hone your skills. And you, of course, get to choose from the selection that you're used to. You get... Can I say how many, or should I not? Yeah, okay. You have 4 choices, each giving 25k experience, as you would expect, and Ellen will give you that experience each time in the skill that you select. So you have 4 choices. Around this area as well, let's go over to the west of the island, where there is 4 magic trees, which again was mentioned in the blog. And to the south, there is a set of stairs. Do you say set of stairs? I'm pretty sure you say set of stairs. You can climb up the guild. And then to the northwest here, so that you're all aware, there is a little herbalist over here who has a shop. And this guy right here will teach you how to create the brand new super anti-fire potions. Is it a woman? Is it a woman? Is that a woman? I am so sorry. That does not look... It's a gnome. I'm sorry. It's a woman, evidently, that will teach you... Let me just zoom in. That is a woman who will evidently teach you how to make the new super anti-fire potion. I'm sorry, I didn't know. The reason for this is that if you complete the quest and you try and make the potion and it doesn't let you, just so you're aware, you have to speak to this person first. Of course, the range, it's over here next to the bank. This is literally right next to it. You can't get much closer than that. And at the top floor, which I've just teleported up to, you have an altar. You have Erden, the smith, who, if you trade, will sell the metal shard which is used to create the kite shield, and also the shield write-off that you're used to. And Diana will also sell an assortment of dragon weaponry. And to the north are portals to each of the respective guilds. And to the west, there is Jack. Now, Jack is the person that you need to talk to, to purchase your mythical cape. It costs 10,000 coins, and as you would expect, it has a teleport. As we pulled, it has unlimited teleport to the Myths Guild. It takes you right here, so right near the runecrafting entrance, essentially. Not as close to the bank as you'd potentially like, but who knows? I'm sure that you guys will certainly find the fastest way of doing your run. I think, however, that's everything I want to show you. Don't. You want a close up of the cape? The runecrafting XP is as pulled. We tried to get it around the number that we said, which I believe was around 30k, give or take 2k each way, as you would usually expect, because we're not as good as you guys. Let's go up this ladder and show you this wonderful library as well, which contains many, many stories for you to read if you wish to read into a little bit more of the lore. And on that note, I think I'm actually going to stop the sneak peek of the week. I'm going to show you this login screen one last time, as opposed to my face, so that I can go ahead and scooch on over to the couch, nice and casually, without you even knowing.
Oh, I would have loved it if you switched there.
Just see him running in.
Yeah. Are you sticking around to see the video? Yeah, all right, let's do the video.
So congratulations, Runezilla.
Congratulations, Runezilla. Well done again.
Very good.
It's like a great login screen. How long is that login screen going to be up for?
It's going to be out for until we get bored of it.
Very well.
Just quickly
It's
before
going
we
to be a
move
sad
on,
day for Runezilla.
just go back to the noted thing. So still a few people confused about that. So
Yes.
we haven't changed anything there. So the new fountain you can use to charge Dragonstone jewelry, but not the ring, because that's wilderness only. You cannot charge noted glories, but you can charge noted bracelets and necklaces, and none of that is new. That's exactly how they work at other charging locations, such as the Legends Guild and the Heroes Guild. So none of that is new. So if you didn't know you could charge them noted, there you go.
There's a bank and a teleport on that cape that will take you pretty close to charging it anyway. I don't think it'll take you that long.
Very well. Was there anything else they were spamming about?
Okay, they clearly just didn't know, yeah. Yeah, that's not new. It's exactly how it's worked
Wow,
for many,
that's
many
so
years.
Old. We have new players.
Noobs. What are you playing at?
Did you know that?
I didn't know that. But I'm an Iron Man. I've only got like 3 glories, so.
So we do have a little bit more Dragon Slayer 2 related content to show you guys today, or rather a couple of questions, and we have a video competition winner to be announced. I believe we have that video ready to be played. We're also going to try to get that video in the chat for you so you guys can watch alongside if you don't want to watch the one on stream, or maybe you want to watch it later, or comment on the video saying congrats, etc. That being said, we're just waiting on confirmation we have the video ready to go. Let's give them a 3, 2, 1 then. 3, 2, 1. Enjoy.
A long time ago, there was an important island called Grandor, with a well-established, vibrant colony and shipping routes all over the world. All of a sudden, it had been destroyed when a Grandorian adventurer discovered and ventured into a deep dungeon. He unconsciously awakened the dragon. Once upon a time, a mighty hero appeared and defeated the dragon, which gave hope to people from all over the Gielinor that the Grandor might become great again. But the story does not end up there. Are you ready for an epic adventure?
It's really cool.
So it was a really difficult decision. We do have a few honorable mentions. I think we had like 5 or 6 videos that were all just really high quality. That clearly took a lot of time, and I loved the little animations.
The walk animation is brilliant. It gets me every time.
Again, we had that video in the chat. If you wanted to watch it, you can scroll back up, unless we can spam it in the chat a bit more. But again, guys, go give that video some love. Obviously put a ton of time into it. And Maraize, can you confirm what they've won?
They won a PC.
They won a gaming computer, a PC. Fantastic. You don't need it to play old school, but now you have it. Well done.
So it's a Chill Blast gaming PC.
A Chill Blast gaming PC, even better.
Only the best.
Fantastic. All right.
Honorable mentions?
Do you have honorable mentions? Yeah, sure. Do you want to?
The unknown pie. I'll go over to
Come on, come on.
Here we go, getting some screen time.
Here,
Cool,
hang
so
on.
we'll chill down here. So honourable mentions are The Unknown Pie, Slayer Music 1, Mr. Bug, Mr. Echo, Jimmy, spelt with a 1, and also Kemp Q.
Kemp.
That's everyone.
Hang on a second.
And who was the winners? What was the winner's name again?
The... Oh, you're asking me. Hold on.
Come on.
The winner was Ice Cream Y.
Ice Scream Y?
Yeah, as in ice scream, like ice cream, but ice scream.
Ice Scream Y. Ah, all right. Well done. Well done. Okay. That was so smooth and seamless. What a transition. There you go. Well done. Ice Scream Space Y. There you go. Fantastic. Let's move on to the Q&A questions then. So Heisenberg says, can we make it a priority to discuss... sorry, I've just completely lost myself there.
Is it cave related?
Make it a priority to discuss the overall death mechanics of the game early this year. Ash discussed favoring a gravestone-esque system, but for only 20 to 30 minutes. A timer would only tick down while logged in and is location-based, not world-based.
We were actually talking about this just a few days ago. Yeah, it's something we wanted to discuss, absolutely.
It's in our integrity post that we put a little while back, I believe. It's definitely something we want to talk about and look into. We, of course, have lots of ideas, but the fact is that none of them really replace what previously occurred very well. It's really about the best thing that we can do that is fair, but also provides enough punishment of death, right? And we'd like you guys to help us with that. So
We often have situations where we can ask the team something, and it's a yes or no situation. This certainly is not a quick yes or no. This requires a ton of thought and involvement from the community. Obviously, it's not going to be an immediate yes. We can't give you a time frame and say you'll have an answer by tomorrow or anything like that. But hopefully you'll be happy to hear we are definitely thinking about it. Ed says, can you elaborate on how difficult the quest will be? Good question.
Yeah, good question.
I was hoping it would be more difficult or as difficult as MM2, considering the rewards.
As we've mentioned earlier when talking about difficulty, hard to say for sure, but I'd like to think it's more difficult than MM2, but it depends on the person, I think.
yeah,
It's certainly up there.
How would you rate difficulty? Would you say difficulty as in they're probably going to die more, or it'll probably take them more time, or they require higher stats / gear?
See, I don't look at it at death too much because with this it's got great sense, so it costs them a bit of money, but that's it. So I think more sort of like...
it's a nice mix of
Yeah.
like puzzle and combat.
Yeah.
Generally, when you take it into account, and I'd probably say that Monkey Madness 2 slightly not wins, but has a more intense puzzle. Not that, let me finish. It has like a more intense puzzle because of the sneaking around section like that. I remember personally I didn't like that puzzle because it was I don't like that kind of puzzle. It's just me, right? And that could be different for another type of player. And for me, I prefer the puzzles that may exist in Dragon Slayer 2, and the combat I think might have been a little bit easier in Monkey Madness 2 as well, I'd say, personally, in terms of my ability. But that could be different for you, or for Ed, or for Ryan, or for Connor. Like,
For Chris.
or for Chris. Well, Chris isn't going to do the quest anyway, is he? Let's be honest.
Wow. I'll have you know, I have lots of experience with puzzles. I've done all of the ones at Barrows.
Not all the ones in the security stronghold.
Those ones too.
Fearing dolls.
All right, next question then. Estimated first completion time after release?
Do you want to make a bet?
Yes, we do.
We probably
Oh,
should,
bet.
really.
Do you want to write them down?
I can, certainly.
Do you want to go in order?
Actually,
Start from-
ModMaz has an easier to fill out notepad. Do you want to grab times down?
Ready? Ed?
Oh, you can go
We have an
first.
actual physical notepad. Wow, this is ancient.
What is this technology?
I'm going to say 5 hours.
5 hours?
Yeah, for day one, yeah.
He's not far off, actually, what I would say.
Well, you don't know how clever they are. They might get really stuck on a puzzle.
Yeah.
Are you manually on the back end kicking Wooks offline?
I didn't think about Wooks. Okay, 2 minutes.
2 minutes. I don't know what to say because I think when I played through it, it took me around. I'll go with 5.5.
Ooh, it's gone up.
It's gone up. I guess I'll go. Oh, it's so long. I want to say 4.5 hours. How long did it take you?
Too long.
If we get a straw poll, I'm going to let the community decide for me. You guys speak for me here.
I don't know
One
what
to 8
to
hours?
because-
Yeah, we're going to have 1 to 6 hours in a straw poll.
For the record,
Can you choose
it took
2 just in case they
Uh,
pick one?
Ryan's going to
Yeah.
go over 6 hours.
I'm going to 6 hours 15.
I don't think it's been more than 6.
Whoa.
so.
Wow.
It took some people in the office over 8 hours to complete.
It took me quite a long time, but I was using quite low stats.
Sorry?
What are your options then?
2, 4, 6, 8 are my options.
Who do we appreciate?
Obviously, the
Community
person
decides for me. If I win, I'll share the reward of nothing.
The reward
Did you say what's the reward?
I feel like the person that's going to win is certainly going to have max stats.
The reward
So that
is
might
you didn't embarrass
speed
yourself
things
on the
up.
Q&A by giving the wrong time.
Yes.
Obviously, if you can,
So I
if
play
you
it smart
can,
here. If I'm wrong, they're wrong.
6 hour 15.
6 hour 15.
It would, the problem is that when I heard 5 hours and 6 hours 15, I was like, it could actually be that time. It really does.
They're going to get 6 hour logged.
I'm hoping that they
So
do.
obviously, I'm
Take a
thinking about
break.
our internal playtests. I'm thinking most people do as internal playtests. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it properly. No teleports. And as soon as you turn around, it's like, I'm just going to teleport over here.
yeah,
So
that's true.
Right.
Yeah, I was telling
I think a lot of people were cheating.
Okay, yeah, well played, chat. I agree. 4 hours. We're in this. We're in this together. I say 4 hours.
They don't know what the quest is, though.
Neither do I.
Most people started that playtest at 9 in the morning. They had a 1 hour lunch, 12 to 1, came back and finished at about 3.
There were some people who had to keep going the next day. They
Some
didn't get it.
people-
They didn't get it done in working day.
That
I'm
being said, they
impressed,
don't have
though.
the sort of the hive mind that are sort of sharing answers with
but
each
a
other.
lot of us as well were actually reading the chat because we were testing for typos and stuff. And so I think the winner will be the person that space files through it as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Curtis didn't.
we say winner. There's no prize for Spacebar
Yeah,
Improvers. We are not
you
giving
lose.
anything to the first person to
Yeah,
finish this
right.
quest.
So read the it's really, really good, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so there we have that. Apologies for spending so much time on that. We're going to get through some questions really quickly now. Okay. Thought says, would it be possible to get an optional skill total requirement to enter a clan chat? It would cut down on people spamming on throwaways.
It's not
If
easy.
only.
The problem with that is it affects RS3's clan chats as well.
We want to do a lot with clan chats and clans in general, hopefully this year. And because we mentioned this at RuneFest, right? Yes, okay, good.
It would be nice to see it as the next big thing after mobile.
Yeah, it's a difficult.
That's not confirmation, though. That's just what I'd like to see.
Depends if you mean new ones or the existing ones.
All of the above.
All right. I think it's a good idea. Of course, it just comes down to resource again, and even still weighing it against the projects that we have going on right now, unlikely anytime soon. John Snow says, what is the approximate gold per hour that you guys are aiming for with Vorkath?
I literally just finished tweaking the drop table, and I buffed it actually quite a chunk this morning, like by quite a bit. I don't want to give a number because I'm sure that you will surpass that, and then you'll tell us that we did it wrong. So I'd rather you find that out yourself, truthfully.
And then when they have the number, you can say, oh yeah, that was the number.
Yeah, that's totally
Well,
intentional.
this question is like, what's the gold per hour? You tell me. There's actually a follow-up comment that said, I really hope based on the discussion of kills per day, there isn't an enrage mechanic to limit your kills per day like a Raxor.
There is not.
Hey, there you go. Lord says, oh, here we go. This is going to take a while. Lord says, what are the JMods?
Let's do it.
You ready?
No, sorry, see, we were talking about an enrage mechanic now. We're looking at each other like,
Okay.
should we? No.
What are the JMods' individual opinions on experience alts? And are there any plans to take action against them in 2018 for the sake of the game integrity? So, I spoke to a few people on the team because I knew this wasn't going to be a quick yes or no answer on the Q&A. And I kind of wrote down a bit of an answer here. So I said, we have no plans to take action against players using alts, as we don't consider this an exploit. If there is an exploit in any content, we fix it. This has been a part of RuneScape since the beginning. Look as far back as people who ran law runes for other players, literally over a decade ago. In this case, it's no longer other players or friends helping out in that matter. It's simply that person has another account that they're playing on. We understand there's a community who prefer to play with alts, and then there's communities who prefer to play or prefer all gameplay to be done by one person or one account. But we don't kind of stand on either side of the fence for that matter. If anything, we feel like if somebody's putting in extra effort, they deserve to have a little bit of extra reward. That's pretty much that. So that's going to upset some people. Hopefully that's okay.
It'll upset, for the record, it'll upset some people in our team as well. Like, we weren't all decided on this matter, but we came to a conclusion.
Right.
Kind of thing, right? Like, individual opinions always exist. But
For the sake of the game's integrity.
absolutely.
Stick says, do you have any dates or date ranges to the upcoming BA rework and/or Rev Caves / Mage Arena 2 rework?
We don't have